to be geniuses. We're supposed to be the creators. And that doesn't exist. First of all, we're a teamwork. Here I am talking myself, but the truth is that we are a team in the office, and who is the basic thing? Everybody is important in that. Second, we have to serve people. Instead of trying to teach you what is architecture, I think we have to understand what you want, how you are, and then build the spaces for you, which is a completely different approach that saying, and now I'm going to tell you how you have to live, and this is my design, and you have to adapt yourself to your design. We have always worked as a team. We discuss all the things. Victor and I, we continuously analyze who starts the project. I don't know, and I don't care really. Sometimes he starts it, sometimes I do. Then we get together, we discuss it, and at the end, it's a teamwork. In that sense, I have been very, very lucky. I have had wonderful partners. Unfortunately, the two founders with me passed away. But all the time, we have the office is based in friendship more than in a business. We have grown. We try not to grow, but one of the problems of architects is that we don't control our life. Somebody comes and says, "Here's the job. We have to start today," and that's very difficult to control it. But we try to be as small as possible, so we control the job personally. Through the years, let's say on the last 10 years, with the so-called globalization, curiously enough, we have been asked to do a lot of work every place in the world, which is fascinating. It's fascinating, but you have to, because you understand other cultures, you learn to respect other people, etc. So we are very happy. I am very happy.
I have a question for you on that point.
It's a very interesting and difficult challenge because you are asked to do something in another culture, in a different culture, because of what you do. So whoever gives you the job, he's expecting that you continue to do what you do. On the other hand, we don't believe in going and impose a culture like a painting or someone. We have to understand. You cannot understand a country in 2 months. So we see it as an interchange of cultures. We always work with somebody local, and also as a very respectful presence of us in that country. There are certain things that we know, or the way we are, that we can enrich that culture, or at least help it. One of them is color. Color is a very special item or subject. There are countries which understand color very natural. India, Africa, Mexico, Brazil in certain way. Other ones are more rational. Germany, the US, Japan. So then when we talk about color, very often people don't understand us because we are purely emotion in the way we use color. I have learned a lot of color through vernacular architecture in Mexico. And people paint their homes, they paint everything, purely emotion. They don't have any reason to do it, and they combine all kind of colors. All the theory of that, you cannot combine one color with the other, it falls apart in Mexico. It has to do with sense of humor, etc. So when you take that to another culture, then the interchange is very interesting and very enriching. Just 2-3 weeks ago, I was in San Antonio. We did the library, and in the presentation of a lecture I gave, they say, you know, you changed San Antonio by bringing a library and doing it in red. We never thought about using red in San Antonio, and that's the kind of contribution. And if you contribute 1/100 of an inch to a culture, I think you've been very successful. Now you have to be very respectful of the culture, and that's what we try to do.
That was great.
Look, I mentioned that we are the service of the society. Now I will say a little more about it. You cannot do a good job without the client. The most dangerous thing that can happen to an architect is to design something without the client. So the client is a must for us. We have one of the first things we test, if you want to call it that way, is that we have good chemistry with the client. As a matter of fact, we don't discuss fees, we don't discuss anything. We go out for dinner first to see if we get along, if we like each other, because this is like a marriage. Doing a project is similar to that. So we have to find if the client likes us. And not only he likes the photographs he has seen of our work. We have to find out if we can communicate with him. And we always incorporate the client all the way from the beginning. We don't want to impose on him. We feel that because we are professionals, we can help them to do a better project. But we never impose, for example, a color. And we discuss color, and color is a very subjective discussion, because you may say, I don't like blue. Why? Because I don't like blue. And that's it. And we don't want to impose a blue in somebody who doesn't like blue. So it's a matter of interchange. We work on it. Color comes to our project sometimes even before we start to design, just a reaction to the site. Let's say we go to a site and we say, here we want to do something red. It happened to us in the desert. Red was our main reaction. Some other times we do it during the design, some other times even during construction, which is one of the problems working outside of Mexico. Because you have to decide, because of the manufacturing, etc., you have to decide the color of a certain wall when you are in the foundation. And that's very difficult. We work with models, we do renderings, we study, we do Photoshop, etc. But there are certain things that you see on the place. We always discuss colors on site, even before we start construction. We go to the site because the color is completely different. And people react very differently to color depending when they are. I remember when we did a house for a couple that lives in Chicago. We did it in California. They travel around the world, and continuously they were saying, Ricardo, the windows are too small. Ricardo, the windows are too small. The opening is going to be a very dark house. I told them, look, wait till you see the light of California. And until we had the house, they understood that and they accepted. And it happened the opposite. When we designed the student residence in Chicago, we didn't have enough windows because the light is completely different. And that goes very much with color. I can show you a sample here. We just go out to California or to Brazil, and it's completely different, the color. And it changes according to the orientation, at what time, etc. Even latitude, how many hours a day you have the sun, and how it's going to reflect. You can paint a wall, and you think that the wall in front of it is the same color. It's only the reflection. So it's fascinating. It's fascinating, the interchange of color, and we decline, because the client has to be very happy. I think that a project is successful if the client, and by client I understand the owner of the house or the users of a building or a school or a library, if they react positively, then you did a good job. If you come out, you can come out in 150 magazines. If the users are not happy, then I have my doubts about if it's a good piece of architecture.
Perfect. One more question.
Well, I will be the color I like most, which is purple. Purple to me has everything. Has the presence of color, has mystery, which is something that we Mexicans, we love mystery. It changes according to the light substantially. It can go almost to black, and almost. So that's my preferred color. And now, if I want to be a color, I may pick up. I never thought about that, but it's.
Okay, will you say it for me one more time? And if I were to be a color, I think I'd be, and then go into the purple thing again?
Okay. If I would have to be a color, I believe I would select purple. Purple because, maybe it's because the color I like most, because it's a color that changes substantially. Can be very deep, almost black, can be very luminous, it's very elegant, and also it has that mystery that we all Mexican, and I am Mexican, we love mystery, and that's what is fascinating on purple.
Okay. You have done this many times before.
Compró el terreno, pero ahora resulta como que quiere arreglar esto. Dice, no puedes dejar todos los centímetros para las fachadas. Y adentro puedes cambiar lo que quieras. No, no tiene ningún
Just a little bit more.
No funciona.
¿Y de dónde salió esto?
Es amiga de Laura. Una vez en Nueva York. Pero está re loca. Adriana platicó un poco más.